welcome to the launch of GPSEN. And my name is Karen Kitchen, and I'm a member of the Osage Nation of Oklahoma. And I was asked to be here tonight to sing a blessing song for this launch event on behalf of my friend Rose Highbear from Wisdom of the Elders, who was not able to be here tonight. So I'm very excited to be here and very honored to be here. And the song I'm going to sing is from the Osage Nation, my people, from Oklahoma. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you, and thank you for all the wonderful work that everyone in this room is doing on behalf of Mother Earth and in appreciation of the gifts of our Creator. So I'm very honored to be a part of this event tonight, and I would like to introduce our next guest, and her name is Jane Gabar, and she's going to read a poem.
Good evening. It's wonderful to be here tonight. My name is Jane Gabar. I am Director of People of the Heart. We're an inclusive community that welcomes all people and all paths. Tonight I'm going to offer a poem by Alice Walker. Would you take a breath in with me? Coming to worship at the 1,000-year-old cherry tree. Life is good. Goodness is its character. All else is defamation. The earth is good. Goodness is its nature. Nature is good. Goodness is its essence. People are also good. Goodness is our offering, our predictable yet unfathomable flowering. Thankful and encouraged, infused with our peaceful inheritance, may we not despair, for the earth is good. Goodness is its nature.
Hello. Good evening. My name is Kim Smith, and some of you know me via email, right? And I'm so glad to have all of you here and to get to celebrate this evening. You have in the programs your schedule and the folks who will be speaking. I'll be serving as your MC this evening, and in there as well are some descriptions of our vision and our mission. So I just wanted to make sure that we were all just clear as to what we're hoping to achieve with the Greater Portland Sustainability Education Network. And we're so honored to have the blessing of the United Nations University System to acknowledge our region for all that we do, for everybody in this room who has done so much to create programs, curriculum, relationships across the four-county region. So I'm just going to give a little bit of background. We have a few welcoming speakers, and then we'll have dinner, and the show will begin. Yeah? And so thank you very much, Karen and Jana, for your beautiful music. And Skip Von Kuske over here on cello. Thank you, Skip. That was really amazing. I hope that you had a chance to see all the exhibits and in the children's room, all of the animals and different things that are going on in there. It's lots of fun. All right. So our intention, right? What does it mean? So when we talk about sustainability, we're an E4 model. So education is really key in this, but also how can we create a healthy and sustainable environment and economy, right? As well as equity, right? How can we create a socially sustainable, economically sustainable, and environmentally sustainable community for ourselves and also, of course, for the future? This is very blurry, so I apologize. We just received this last night from Tokyo. But these are all the RCEs around the world. So you're going to hear us say Greater Portland Sustainability Education Network, or GPSEN, right? That's going to be our local name. But we are formally a regional center of expertise on education for sustainable development. So anything formal or international, you're going to see RCE Greater Portland, all right? So I apologize that it's blurry, JPEG, et cetera, et cetera. But the reason I used this one instead of the one that I had yesterday is because look at the little spot right there. Woo! We're on the map. And so there has only been one active one in the United States, and that was in Michigan. And then just this year, RCE Shenandoah Valley in Virginia was accepted, and then Portland. And if you'll notice the orange, I'm gonna just be a teacher here, so let me use my little, right, gotta do the laser thing. Look at how many are in Asia, and how many are in Europe, and really strong in Africa. Ooh, but what's going on in the Americas? Not so many, right? But strong in Canada. So we're going to have a major shout out to our Canadian friends who are here with us this evening. Yeah, and then, so Portland is really being looked to as, we already are a leader, but they're looking to us to be a model and to be able to share our good work, anything, models that can be replicated, but also just to be doing the good work here in our own communities that, you know, in the ideal world of thinking globally, acting locally, right? So this is really an invitation this evening, and it's just the start, right? This is our launch. So what does it mean to be able to move forward together? And through formal education, we have our schools. Big shout, who are our schools? Yeah, okay. No. And then who are our higher ed, right? The colleges, right? And the members we're all going through in our slideshow. Okay, non-formal, really talking about, those are all the government agencies and nonprofit groups that do curriculum and education. So who do we have here in all these sectors, right? Yeah, great, thank you very much. Informal education, that's through the media, right? And all these different ways in which we educate. So we have a few media folks out here too, right? Who do we have? Couple? Not so many. Kate, you can raise your hand. You're media. Okay, as well as the people filming. Thank you very much. By the way, Portland Community College does have a TV channel, so this is going to be filmed. So anyway, our intention, transformative education and research, outreach, anything that can be done to support your work, sharing the information you have. And then, of course, collaboration. If we can find ways to leverage our resources, finding ways to, all of the words, efficiencies, right? All those kinds of things that we talk about because we want to increase our collective impact. And hopefully together, we really can achieve that vision of having a healthier, more just, and thriving community. So, we've created a slogan, educate, inspire, engage. And so we just have a couple pictures, and again, you'll be hearing about folks who are doing all this good work this evening. The Coalition for a Livable Future, I'm sure most of you are very well aware of their good work. They have the Regional Equity Atlas, right? If you haven't looked at that yet, be sure to check it out. They also have the Equity Stories Project. So this is an exhibit that's now available if you want to have these in your community. This is Marion over here, right? Our Portland State has the Social Sustainability Colloquium, and we were connecting and thinking about how we can work together. And this group here, Hands on Greater Portland, we had our first TeamWorks team this year, and lots of students from Portland Community College going out and doing service projects and then learning about sustainability. And if you haven't done potluck in the park, I encourage you to do so. It's every Sunday. It's amazing, serving the homeless downtown. So again, social sustainability, economic sustainability too, right? Not just about the environment. Okay, so those are a few of my main thoughts, and we're going to also have a few presenting sponsors share a few words. So I'd like to invite up Dr. Jeremy Brown, our illustrious president of Portland Community College.
Well, good evening and welcome. Thank you to Kim and the entire GPSEN team. Kim, thank you so much for all that you do, which as much as the light shines on you, it also shines on PCC, and we're extremely proud of you, so thank you so much for doing everything like that. You know, as a relative newcomer to Portland, I continue to be impressed in how Portland's leadership and the greater community uphold sustainability as an important value, and they somehow find immeasurable ways to work together to solve a myriad problems. And it's easy to take such collaborations for granted, and sometimes we assume that other US cities are like-minded in this area. But for someone like me, who has lived elsewhere and clearly is not from Portland, Oregon, allow me to say that this is not the case. Portland has an amazing ability to partner, to do things what it sets its mind to do, and to engage leadership at all levels to make things happen. So to be named a regional center of expertise on sustainable education by the United Nations University is really a tremendous honor. Then again, this is Portland, and all things green, sustainable, and environmental flourish here. What a better place than Portland to launch such an undertaking. GPSEN's goal is really multifaceted, to advance sustainability education and build a diverse regional cross-sector network of individuals and organizations, to increase public awareness about regional sustainability issues, and to educate the next generation of environmental stewards. It's really important that we never forget that. It's natural, of course, for Portland Community College to be involved in such an effort. And since joining PCC nearly a year ago, I've gained a more thorough understanding of the college's commitment itself, its commitment itself to sustainability. In 2009, we crafted a climate action plan, which was updated in 2013. We've developed green course outcomes, a sustainability focus award, and numerous training to build capacity amongst our instructors. And then there are the green team, it's not what you imagine, and service learning activities for students throughout the college. PCC is part of the Sustainability Purchasing Leadership Council, a national organization working to advance sustainable purchasing in both public and private sectors. We are the only community college in the nation involved in this project, and only one of 5 higher educational institutions in its founding circle. All of this energy and passion underscores GPSEN's objective to harness the power of education to creatively find solutions for the environmental issues that we face. And again, it demonstrates just how special Portland is in terms of the value placed on relationships and partnerships. So I'm delighted and proud that PCC can join forces with so many dedicated individuals and organizations across the region in such an important topic. And on that note, I'd like to introduce one such partner on the GPSEN project, Dr. Steve Combs, Professor of Environmental Science and the Malta Chair in Science at the University of Portland. Thank you again for coming out tonight. Thank you.
We'll run with that. It's all improv. Actually, we're inviting waste management up because Steve it was beautiful. And yes, Steve, thank you for being here as well in University of Portland. But we're having Adam Winston with Waste Management, who actually also is a presenting sponsor, and we're very grateful for everybody's support tonight.
Good evening. Again, my name is Adam Winston. I'm the Director of Operations for Waste Management. On behalf of Waste Management, it's my privilege to be here tonight to salute you as educators and sustainability leaders. Whether you're a teacher, a student, an elected leader, or an advocate for sustainable education, your work is critically important for our community's future. Thank you for your stewardship and your focus on the future. Waste Management is proud to be one of your partners as we work toward this promising future. You know, it's interesting. I think that everyone knows what this symbol is, waste management. And I came here tonight speaking to my colleagues, and there was people here tonight that had not heard of waste management. Again, we're a waste removal and recycling company, and we do a lot of recycling. Again, waste management isn't a diet company. It's not about waste. So what I thought I'd do maybe talk to briefly about some of the things that we do that think's a great fit for your organization here tonight, some of the things that we do in Portland and really in the metro area. The first thing I want to talk about is clean air and quieter streets, which you may not be aware of, but in 2006, in partnership with the Portland Public Schools, we put the first alternative fuel garbage truck in Oregon. It was a truck that burned 20% biodiesel. Very exciting for the time. And we didn't think it would happen, but we started with one truck back in 2006. Well, in 2012, here at our Portland district in Northeast, we put in a compressed natural gas fueling station, and now we have clean burning compressed natural gas trucks going through the neighborhoods. Very, very exciting, and we're going to see more and more of that. In fact, by the end of this year, in the Portland metro area, we're going to have 60 clean burning compressed natural gas trucks in 2 fueling stations in the Portland metro area. Some other things that is very unique to the Portland area is at our Hillsborough Landfill, co-located there, we have a construction and demolition recycling facility. It's one of the only ones in the country. Again, this was in partnership actually and to support the Metro's requirement that all waste destined for a landfill that's dry waste has to be recycled, or what we call MRFed, before it goes to landfill. And at this facility, waste that used to go to the landfill, such as wood, cardboard, plastics, metals, what have you, is now being, we're getting the value out of that and getting those materials before it goes to landfill. been enormously successful, and I think it's a great example also of a public-private partnership that can happen, and we're very, very proud of that facility. Lastly, there's another important example of a neat partnership, and that's with Green Schools. Waste Management is proud to sponsor 2 Green School regional coordinators, and we also provide financial support. So again, those are just some of the things that we do. We're constantly looking at ways that we can continue to get value out of the waste stream, because obviously if you have a higher, better use, that's what we want to do. Lastly, briefly talk about recycling. Recycling obviously is a huge and strong ethic within the Portland metro area, and it's going to continue, but as people want to recycle more and more, there's kind of been a little bit of question of what really is recyclable. There's more and more restrictions on what you can send to other countries to recycle. How many of you in all your plastics see a number on it that has a recycling symbol on it? Everyone see that? Some of those numbers, there's very few markets for it. And so what happens, people throw those away with the recycling, the other recyclables that have a really strong value to it, it can cause contamination. And so what our company is really doing is really promoting to recycle often, but recycle right. In fact, if you Google that here tonight, recycle often, recycle right, you can see a little bit more about what our company is trying to do. But again, it's great to be here tonight. I'm really looking forward to the evening. Thank you for the opportunity to be a sponsor, and have a great evening. Thank you.
And on the back of your programs, of course, you'll see a variety of sponsors and all the good work that people are doing. And then during the slideshow, of course, we were sharing their logos as well. So this evening, you are also going to have lovely dinner. Of course, this is just a whole scale of recognition, right, of the life cycle of all the parts of our lives. And so understanding this as an environmental sociology professor, I always have my students do an exercise, a homework assignment, where they have to pick one item that they consume and do a full life cycle analysis of it, where it's like, where does it come from, right? And what's required to consume that item? And then, of course, where does it go in the end? It's not just about our moment, this present moment where we are, right? So it's important to think about, with Republic Services and waste management, it's like, where do all of our things go, right? It's not just away. And so that's part of the awareness for all of us. It's like we exist in this time, we have consequences on our planet, we have consequences on each other, and those can be really positive, right, in the sense of creating this spiraling up of a triumph of the commons together, or the little negatives add up too, and we certainly don't want to spiral down into a tragedy of the commons. So I hope that the things that we learned tonight and the opportunities we have in the future to work together in this partnership, that we can be aware of who we are, how we're interconnected with our own local communities, and appreciate you talking about recycling and sending things abroad too, right? Also with other species, and of course with future generations, yeah? So, and I say this partially also, a little shout out to the biology friends out there in the room. Hi guys. Okay, so Vibrant Table lives by this standard as well. So your caterers this evening have an environmental stewardship model operating clean and green, and most of your food is local, so we'll have a few things on the slides there. I have one last thing I want to add, and this is just an activity. You might be like, what's this little blue card on the table? And if you didn't notice, I hope you did, or if you have an opportunity before you leave, did you see the beautiful wooden pyramid outside? Did that catch your eye? Where's Johnny? Is Johnny in here seated? There you are, he's over there. Sorry, you were behind the waiter. Johnny Furlove over here, one of my environmental sociology students, built that. That is based on a model by a UNESCO consultant, Alan Atkinson, and it's called an ISIS pyramid. And the work is a process of engagement and reflection on what are the challenges that exist in our world and how can we address them. And within this, we have ISIS, so at the basis, the indicators. What are the foundational issues that create the problems that we face, right? Second, the structures, right? What are the kinds of things that are the way our society is organized that might be creating the challenges that so many of us are trying to address? And then, of course, transitioning into solutions. Next, innovation. So ISIS, right? Acronym. Innovation. What innovative ideas can we come up with, each and every one of us at our tables? And it's like, these are some ways that we could probably address things in a different way. And then the last S, strategies. What would be some of the types of things that we could do in whatever sector we're in to come up with a world that is hopefully, as sustainable as we possibly can make it. We know we're facing some urgent times and some challenges, right? But we certainly see this as an opportunity to work together. So the blue cards are actually for our architects in the room. Okay, who are our architects, including the youth architects in here? Waving at you. Okay, good. That's the capstone. So pyramids have a capstone, right? The actions at the top, if you can, if you want, during the evening, we'll pass some pens around. If you have something that you would want to do, what is it that you do that makes a difference? And on your way out, put the capstone into the pyramid, okay? Put those into the pyramid. We're going to collect those, and we'll have that as a public record from our evening. Sound good? Okay, so that's what those little cards are. Please do fill those out. And it's also a discussion question in case by chance you feel shy and have nothing to talk about, which I highly doubt. So enjoy your dinner, and we'll come back in a little bit and continue our program. We have a very lovely national blessing for us from an official blessing from Deborah Rowe from the U.S. Partnership for Education for Sustainable Development. Unfortunately, we are not, for some reason, able to get the video coming through, but she is on audio, and so she has a few words to share. So if you would be so kind as to welcome Deborah Rowe.
Thank you, everybody. I'm sorry that I can't be there in person tonight to celebrate with you all of the progress that you've been making in terms of education for sustainability, and even more so to envision what the future can bring and to plan for the actions that will really make a difference in terms of high impact, shifting societal norms so we can have a more sustainable future for everyone. I want to share with you first parts of a letter that came from Dr. Takimoto, the director of the United Nations University at the Institute for the Advanced Study of Sustainability. And he says to all of you tonight, I sincerely apologize for my inability to be with you physically and trust that my absence is in no way diminishing the importance and significance of this event. On behalf of the United Nations University, I extend to all the RCE stakeholders our profound congratulations and warm wishes. The acknowledgement of RCE Greater Portland is well deserving, as reflected in the quality of its submission. I take great pleasure and pride in welcoming RCE Greater Portland to the global RCE community. The task ahead for your new RCE is to actively engage its multi-stakeholders to work closely together to deliver education for sustainable development in the Greater Portland region, and at the same time participate in the global RCE community processes and collaborative initiatives. It is heartening that RCE Greater Portland envisions a just, healthy, and thriving region where sustainability education is prioritized and integrated across sectors, and where everyone has opportunities to shape a more sustainable future. We at UNU, through the Global RCE Service Center, look forward to working with you and the Greater Portland RCE in the years ahead. So that's a message from Dr. Takimoto, and I'm glad to be able to deliver it tonight. But I want to add a few words from the U.S. Partnership for Education for Sustainable Development. You know, the country often looks to Portland for the models. You've got that West Coast reputation as a place that's been trying to create sustainability for a longer period of time and with more thoughtfulness and in-depth analysis and action. While there are shining examples in other parts of our country, we still have not come close to shifting the societal norms in the United States so that we can really get to a future of higher quality of life with sustainable abundance, the title of a preface I just wrote to an encyclopedia about how we really can reach sustainability in a way that's going to create not only quality of life and healthy economies, but also healthy ecosystems for many generations to come. The U.S. partnership is seeing great growth in the higher ed sector. Thousands of colleges and universities committed to sustainability, not only across the curriculum and on campus, but in the community as well. We've also seen growth in the K-12 sector, in the business and nonprofit sectors, and even in the government sector. We're now starting to see a growing momentum of cross-sector collaboration as the RCE model advocates for, and also an increasing conversation of quality across political and cultural divides, coming from a place of the tragedy of the commons. It looks like we may be able to build the strength of the commons instead. So as we start a new initiative in the U.S. partnership around course conversations, campus conversations, and community conversations to build a more sustainable future, we look forward to working very closely with you as a key partner who's already well on your way to setting those models and precedents and principles and tools for the rest of us. So good luck to you in your coming work, and I look forward to the pleasure of sharing your precedents with others around the country. Thank you.
That worked okay, didn't it? May I have your attention, please? So our program, that was our official beginning of obviously a formal, if she could have had a fairy wand, right, she would have been touching our shoulders right then. And thank you so much to Dr. Takamoto, the director, who they're in the process of moving all their offices to Tokyo right now. So he was sorry he wasn't able to make it. If you would like to actually see the whole letter, it's out at our GPSEN display table, and also we can send it if by chance you're interested in his very insightful words. Deborah also is a lovely woman, so I'm sorry you didn't get to see her, but she will be here at the ASHE conference. So those of you who are involved or interested in sustainability in higher ed, the Association for the Advancement of Sustainability in Higher Education, the North American group, is having their conference here, the international conference, in October. So it's going to be fabulous. And thankfully, the RCEs, GPSEN, our presentation on the good work we're doing was actually accepted as a panel presentation. So that's good news too. So she gave our blessing on the international level. We also have a few guests from abroad who are here. So we're going to welcome up our incredible mentor from RCE Saskatchewan. Lyle Benko has been involved with United Nations University for 7 years, correct? 9 years now. And we wouldn't be here if we hadn't received his guidance and kind humor and wit and wisdom from the mighty plains of Canada. So thank you. I'm going to invite Lyle up, and he'll be able to share a few words with you.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will prove that I am from Canada. I say roof. I say, what are the other words I should? No, I better not say any other words. Kim has me on the clock, but I have to also make sure if Deborah's still on the line. I did see her. She was fixing her hair just before and then realized she didn't have to worry about it, so now I'm fixing my hair. So I guess this is what you get stuck with. I do a lot with Skype, and actually I've been meeting so many good people over the last 48 hours that I would only see on the screen like that through Skype through many meetings. So it is a great opportunity to be here, and thank you very much, distinguished guests, and especially our new friends of the RCE. Greater Portland Sustainability Education Network, GPSEN I like better. I used to think introducing myself as the co-coordinator of the United Nations University Designated Regional Center of Expertise for Education for Sustainable Development, Saskatchewan, Canada, was more than just a breath and a mouthful of words. I now can shorten it to the UNUIASRCE-SK-DESD. And if you're wondering about the spelling of RCE Saskatchewan, it is RCE, just like RC GPSEN. Actually, our good friend that I'm bringing greetings also, our UNESCO chair, Dr. Chuck Hopkins, who is either in China or, I don't know, Asia or somewhere today, has joked that we've been doing work since 1990 together, that I should wear a t-shirt, and all it has to say is Saskatchewan. Hard to spell, but easy to draw. Just checking your geography. So I do bring greetings and a very warm welcome on behalf of the United Nations University and the global network of 129 RCEs. My beautiful wife Donna knows we have a map in my office very similar that we had presented to us in New York 7 years ago. That's where you're getting the lucky 7-year itch. But it took us 2 years. Okay, so that's 9 years to get where you guys were. And it was very interesting to see Saskatchewan spelled correctly on that map, and we were the second one in Canada. And I have to give credit, we also have some of our BC RCE guests here with us. We'll meet them later on. But it is interesting that both Don and I came to Oregon and Portland 42 years ago, almost to the day on our honeymoon. So when we got the invitation from Kim and the team, it was more than just an invitation. It was just meant to happen. So we are so very happy to be in the Rose City with you tonight and to see all kinds of things. Where's our waste management senior official? There you are. We were following your truck this morning as we were going to the Rose test gardens, and my wife was the one who read it while I was trying to find the GPS lines, saying, "You'd like this, it's propane driven." Was it propane that you read? It was just the way you described it, so we know that you're serious about this here. As the UN mentor, I have seen the original ideas and the concept and the possibility of an RCE for Greater Portland develop from a similar question that was posed to myself and the co-coordinator of RCE Saskatchewan, Dr. Roger Petrie, 9 years ago at our kitchen table when Dr. Chuck Hopkins said, "I wonder if," and we still bug him about that, "I wonder if." And now you are part not only of that wonder if, to now I wonder how we did it. And Kim, you and your team, I've met several of them over the past few days and especially even tonight. It's not hard to realize how you have done it. It takes good people. Dr. Chuck Hopkins was with us not too long ago, and we're sitting in a room like this. We had an event in Saskatchewan as a Lieutenant Governor, our patron at Government House, and we had about 200 people. And Chuck said, "You know, it doesn't matter wherever I go in the world, it's always so nice to come to a function like this because you know these are people that are much like us." And it is very evident that when I hear from the previous meetings through Skype, and I had to go through all of that paperwork that you guys created as a mentor, it was phenomenal to see where you were. And it's very interesting that to get this official designation, even before it was considered, it was an extensive process. For us, it took 2 years. I don't know, Kim, what did it take you guys? About a month? Okay, she's good, but not that good. And there was more than one revision, but it wasn't because the UNU or myself as a mentor was demanding it. It was because the team wanted to make sure that they had the strong foundation. I said at one point before the application went in, you guys are ready because you have things that you have worked on that we wished we had accomplished after 2 years of being designated. You already had it before it went in, and it was very interesting that it was almost flawless is the words that I heard when the Ubuntu actually reviewed it in January, and I was happy to get the same message that you did. So congratulations, RC Greater Portland. You truly have moved that process from paper to reality with your focus on educate, inspire, and engage. It's evident by your partners and collaborators and supporters in the room tonight, and it's also written in the document that Kim has invited you to see. Take a look at it from the director of the United Nations University. It's really interesting when Dr. Kakamota wrote on June the 4th, and I'm taking a different quote than Deborah did, because this meant a lot to me. It's heartening that RCE Greater Portland envisions a healthy, just, and thriving region where sustainability education is prioritized and integrated across sectors, and where everyone has opportunities to shape a more sustained future. Boy, if that's not why you're here, enjoy the meal, because there's a lot of hard work for us all to do. Thinking about my work and experiences over the past decade of learning and sharing ESD locally to globally, I remember commenting that it's not just that it's good work, it's a teamwork. We have about 150 in RC Saskatchewan, not actively engaged each day, nor are any of them paid like myself. It is all volunteer, but it's the kind of volunteer work that makes things happen. So, seeing 2 minutes left, I'll make sure that we end on time. We are constantly learning from each other, and that's not just in RC Saskatchewan. That's part of what I learned from you people, and our RCE Saskatchewan was privileged to have Dr. Kim Smith on, similar to what we just had here, with 5 continents. You represented the Americas, we had Africa, we had our RCEs sharing what they were doing for our event. So the technology does work, and we don't always have to have a big carbon footprint, but what is really, I think, the significance of tonight is that you guys are moving from awareness to action. And with that, you know, the event tonight is only the beginning. In closing, I've been often asked why I do this work. My response is always for Emma and Andrew Benko. And I think my grandson is just finishing his baseball game in Regina. They're 2 beautiful grandkids that deserve a chance to also achieve our goal of well-being for all forever. Baba Dioum, a Senegalese poet, one of my favorite quotes that he wrote was, "In the end, we can serve what we love only what we understand, and we will understand only what we are taught." Welcome, teachers of Portland, RCE, and of the Global Village. Thank you for this unique honor. And I have a little something special, Kim, for you on behalf of the recognition for tonight. If you'd come up, please. Look at that, you didn't have to give me the last minute. Can you come up? Okay.
What is it?
Well, you'll have to take a look at it.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Qu'est-ce que c'est?
There we go. Something very special for you, for your RC to share. Well, that's just paperwork. That's Here, I'll take that out.
Is that
There you go.
yours?
There you go. That's actually for you too.
I was going to say, how nice of him to give me his notes.
These aren't my notes. These are your marching orders from the UNU. Sorry.
Oh, a beautiful book about Saskatchewan. If you're not from the prairie, and that's the name of the book, right? You're not from the prairie, and then all the different ideas around the concepts of living there. And I also enjoy, I'll also share the other one you gave yesterday,
that's
a
good.
smaller one. Okay, thank you very much, Lyle.
You're welcome. I need a hug.
You get a hug.
There you go.
But remember, you get to stay up here.
Well done.
You get to stay up
okay.
He actually scheduled in time for oohs and ahs. Isn't that funny? Very good. Obviously, a public speaker. So, move a few things. Excuse me.
It's all recycled paper.
Of course it is. Okay, so if we didn't live our talk, we would be hypocrites, and we are not. Nobody in here is a hypocrite, right? Yeah? Or at least forevermore after tonight. All right, so we have another activity, brief activity that we're going to do with our dear friends from Canada. And that is, so tonight is our launch, right? We are identifying ourselves now as the Greater Portland Sustainability Education Network, aka RCE Greater Portland. And we were very, very inspired by RCE Saskatchewan's logo. And they have done beautiful work in identifying the symbols of their community, relationships with each other, as well as their native plant, their native flower. Do you want to? What is the name of the flower? Do you want to
We have the prairie lily. No, go ahead. You're doing good.
the prairie?
I'm finished. Yep.
Say the name.
Tiger lily. Prairie Tiger.
The prairie tiger lily. Excuse me, got to say it right? Prairie tiger lily. And so, therefore, given their work, and you can go to their page and you can read about the symbolism and all of the work that they've come up with in terms of identifying who they are through their art and through their relationships. Those are hands, right? The tiger lily as well as hands, holding hands. So, we are also tonight unveiling our own logo. And I want to honor and thank Amy Livingstone, sitting there over here, yes. And you will see her again. Many of you, I'm sure, engaged in her mandala work, and then her art is over here. She also shared her art with us in creating our logo. So the big unveiling will be done by 2 Canadians. We also have David Van Sleet from RCE Vancouver, British Columbia. RCE British Columbia, actually, full title, right? So he wants to say a word or two, and then they're going to reveal the logo to you, okay? So come on up, you can say a word.
I had to guarantee I would tattoo this on me. What did you guarantee?
Did y'all hear that? He's guaranteeing if he likes it, he's going to tattoo it on himself.
So I'm here from Vancouver, and that's Vancouver, British Columbia, not Vancouver, Washington. I heard a lady coming in just arguing about the traffic from Vancouver, Washington, and I said, I can beat that. Kim and I collaborated a little bit during the process of their RCE formation, and we met in Nairobi in November, and we pledged to collaborate in the future. And I thought, well, if there's going to be a party, then RCE British Columbia North Cascades is going to be here. I want to acknowledge my colleagues, Carlos Ormond and Josh Coward. You want to just stand for a moment? So there's 3 of us here from RCE British Columbia. Yeah. And we take that Cascades part of our name quite seriously, so we were quite excited that Oregon and Portland, plus we love to visit Portland, so kindred spirits. And I want to acknowledge Lyle's good work. Lyle was our mentor when we proposed our RCE in British Columbia in 2010, and I went to visit Saskatchewan. A great man, great collaborator, and I'm very excited to be here on the stage with him and with Kim and all of you. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you, David. Very nice. I didn't like that.
So he's going to hold the green, you grab the blue, but hold the side so it doesn't fall off, okay?
Okay.
No, there's no song.
What's the cue?
Are we ready?
Go this way, and then
Okay. Gotta wait for the
you do
cue.
green, you do blue. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Woo!
Wow.
Is that there too? Look at that. How did we do that?
I don't know, magic. Technology. We're Canadian. What can we say?
We can do anything.
Now make us disappear.
All right. Okay.
Okay, we better get off.
All right.
I want to get to dessert. You go up. Okay.
I will catch it.
Thank you.
Isn't it pretty? For all you local folks, you recognize the symbology, correct? What bridge is that? Yes, it's the Tillicum. It's our new bridge, and which means the bridge of the people, and recognizing friendship. And it's the first in the nation, correct? That's only available for trains, bikes, and pedestrians. Okay, so there you go. And that was, again, the 4 E's and our name. So thank you very, very much for being a part of this. We have a few more speakers, and we have some music for you, so we want to honor everyone's time. So next up, we have Senator Michael Dembrow, and where's my notes? Where's my little sticker? I'm sorry, Michael. Where's the little sticky? Of course. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. It's on top of the Prairie book. If you're not from the Prairie, you're missing your sticky notes. Okay, Michael Dembrow. So Michael has taught at, actually still teaching, has taught at Portland Community College for 32 years. also has served as our Faculty Federation president for 16 years. And you might well know him as a legislator. He's been with the legislature since 2009, and we are so thrilled. I mean, of course, Jackie Dingfelder did a fine job as well, but she's now working for the city with Mayor Hales. And so now Michael is the chair of the Senate Environment and Natural Resources Committee in the Senate. Which is a major coup for all of us, right? Cool. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you all for being here. Welcome. Welcome to our friends, brothers from Canada. I'm so proud to be representing the state of Oregon here tonight. You know, before I started chairing the Senate Committee on the Environment and Natural Resources, I chaired the House Higher Education Committee. And so I want to thank Kim for bringing it all back together again, you know, at least briefly, because that's what GPSEN really is all about. I'm so pleased that this evening has come. As those of you who've worked with Kim know, you know, once those teeth get onto your wrist, they just don't let go. And you know, she started talking to me a few months ago about this gypsum, and you know, I thought she was asking me to set up a hearing on gypsum mining, you know, and you know, I've been trying to stay away from mining as an issue. You know, we have all these controversial natural resources issues in my committee, but fortunately, that's not what we're talking about. It's a real honor for me to see the role that Portland Community College has played in this. Thanks, Dr. Brown. Jim Harper from the board is here, and the contribution of the college has really been inspiring. I do want to give my own shout out to Waste Management. It really is a wonderful organization. In fact, just last week in my committee, somebody, I wrote his name down, Chuck White from Waste Management came to my committee to speak in support of a really important program that we have here in Oregon. It's called the Clean Fuels Program, and it's designed to create more incentives for us to be using lower carbon fuel in our vehicles. And it's something that was created back in 2009, but with a sunset on it, so that next year the sunset's going to have to be renewed. And I can tell you this is very controversial. And there are a number of businesses, you know, who've been seeing this as their opportunity to let the thing go away and die, so that they don't have to transform themselves and really invest in a new sustainable economy. Waste Management has done the reverse, you know, as you've heard, by, you know, really focusing on low carbon fuel, locally sourced fuel. This, you know, they're really looking to the future, and I really thank them for that. So you can applaud them. It really is. It's great. So right after I was appointed to the Senate, in fact, it was the day I was sworn in as a senator, I got an invitation to go to England to go on a tour of energy facilities in England. It was actually, I think the invitation was really from my predecessor, but you know, what the heck, she wasn't there anymore, so I grabbed it. Anyway, it was a great tour, and it was organized by an organization called Globe International. Globe International is an organization of legislators, international organization of legislators who are committed to issues of sustainability and, you know, to creating good policy within their respective countries to ensure a more sustainable future. And what's interesting about Globe is their leaders, just right now, the chair and the president of the organization are both British from the Conservative Party, right? Sort of the analog to our Republican Party over here. But they did not see this as a partisan issue. They saw this as, an issue that rather than something that should be separating people, it's something that should be bringing people together. And I really admired that vision that they had. Until our trip, Globe defined legislators as people who were legislating at the national level. So here in this country, that would mean our congressional senators and representatives. But they had come to realize that in this country, at least, the action really is at the local level, right? It's the states that are leading the way on sustainability. And so they wanted to reach out to state legislators as people to come in and share their expertise and be part of a large network. And I was thinking about that on my way over here tonight, because really that's what GPSEN and this organization really is all about. It's about people in a locality coming together, sharing their resources, inspiring one another, embarrassing one another, whatever it takes to keep people on track. It's, the old mantra is, as Kim said, think globally, act locally. Really, we think both globally and locally. We need to act both globally and locally. And so I'm really pleased to be part of this. Here in this state, one of the things we're trying to do with healthcare is to coordinate the various aspects of our healthcare. We call it coordinated care organizations. Well, I see this GPSEN not as a polluting mining operation, but rather as something that really is encouraging coordinated care for the environment. That is, all of us working together in solidarity to make this a better place for us, for our children, and for our grandchildren. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Such an honor to have you here. So if you can't tell that we're doing this in a sense of the international to the national to the state, right? Which brings us up to the county. So I'm going to now introduce Ben Duncan, and he has inspired me many times. No, really, every time you speak, I'm just always like, wow, this guy is amazing. And of course, now where is your business card, which you gave me? Oh, goodness gracious. Excuse me, I apologize. Right? All you PCC folks, how fun was it today to have the internet and all of our printers go down? That's actually what's going on up here and why this has been such a struggle. Anyway, thank you, PCC, for tech people, for trying to get it all back together again. Anyway, so Ben, I'm going to let you introduce yourself in some of the words, but he's been working with equity. He's the director of equity and diversity with Multnomah County, and also the director, board of directors. You're the director, aren't you, of Opal? You're the board director, though. The founding board member. Excuse me, we got to do it from the side. Excuse me. Anyway, founding board member of Opal, and we really want to recognize, again, always going back to what sustainability means and the point around equity and social sustainability. And so I'm very proud to introduce Ben Duncan. Thank you.
Well, good evening. So thanks for the introduction. So Ben Duncan, I'm the Chief Diversity and Equity Officer with Multnomah County, and I'm sure they'd be pretty happy to see our logo in this space. I want to just also mention Opal Environmental Justice Oregon. I was told by a mentor, I'm a board member, and I think anytime you have a microphone and a captive audience, you should ask for money. So www.opalpdx.org. We actually do, it's great work, and I'm really proud to have been almost going on 10 years now with that organization. It's really an honor for me to have the opportunity to speak today at this launch of the GPSEN. I'll just say GPSEN. And I really want to take a moment to thank Dr. Kim Smith for her work. I think it was a few years ago, I came and talked to one of your classes, and you had this visionary idea of this regional center of expertise and education. And tonight, celebrating its realization is incredibly exciting. So I want to formally say thank you. I spent today at the Oregon Equity Project, which is a group that consists of the Oregon Health Equity Alliance, which is a consortium of community-based organizations, organizations led by people of color who have done amazing work at the state to move health equity work forward. And they were joined by a lot of the coordinated care organizations that the Senator mentioned, talking about equity and healthcare transformation. And I did 2 workshops today around equity, and so now I'm exhausted, but it was really moving. And one of the things that came out of those discussions that really resonated with me and resonated with a lot of the participants, and it's one of the things that in the Office of Diversity and Equity and our work around equity we think about, was a clarity of purpose. And purpose being important because it clarifies the vision around equity. And it clarifies our vision around equity and sustainability. So not that you should ignore me while I'm going to talk the rest of the time, but in the back of your mind, think about what drives you to be here. Think about what that purpose is that puts you at this table, that drives you to think and be committed to sustainability. And as I thought about what I was going to talk about this evening, and knowing that I only had a few minutes, I'm already seeing the first sign. That's a challenging exercise in any way for me. I reflected on the mission of GPSEN and wanted to kind of pull out a few concepts to expand on, because my purpose is really focused on equity, and that's the frame through which I'll speak. So first, the idea of collaborative partnerships and supportive outreach, that equity and sustainability demands that the voices of those most impacted by the negative effects of historical and contemporary injustice, those that experience the burden of environmental hazard and the oppression of social policies that exclude them, have a voice in decisions that impact their lives. There's an environmental justice adage that says communities that speak for themselves best protect themselves. So that goal and vision for GPSEN is incredibly important. Second, that research and development that is participatory and takes place in both formal and informal settings. That identifying and recognizing and honoring the wisdom, experience, and knowledge of both the academic and non-academic community is paramount to moving forward opportunities that leverage diverse ways of knowing. And we stand here with 12,000 years of history of our indigenous brothers and sisters that have taught us about what sustainability looks like. We need to honor that wisdom and honor that experience and honor that knowledge. Community-based participatory research is an ever-expanding field that keeps getting more participatory. And it's critical for moving this work forward and critical for the scholarship around sustainability and equity. And third, and I really love the language that reflects that this work is transformative. And transformative education and training, to meet the visions of regional sustainability. I love that frame. And being transformative means that we are mindful in our approaches, that we understand the relationships of power and race, that we consider cultural responsiveness, trauma-informed approaches, historical context, that we do this work from a relational worldview that honors the complete and whole self, the mind, body, spirit, and context in which we operate in this world. And finally, I'll close by reflecting really what brings me here. 3.5 years ago, my wife and I had a child who's in the back, probably on the iPhone. It's distracting him while he's not yelling. He's completely adorable, if you can see him. I'm a little biased, obviously. But that's a child who's going to, and he's half Latino, quarter white, Jewish, quarter African American, right? Nice, diverse kid. He's a child who's going to examine his own identity as he navigates this world. A child who inherits the outcomes of decisions that we've made and that we will make in these years to come. He's a child that will experience the benefits and burdens of the vision that we collectively engage in, and a child who relies on us to make the world a better place to live. He's a metaphor for a movement that must be multiracial and inclusive, and he'll also be a measure, positively or negatively, of the choices we make. I'm really excited to be a part of this work. I'm excited to join all of us in this journey as we move forward, and I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Rudy is darling, if you get a chance. Hi, Rudy. So, Nancy. Nancy is co-coordinator, amazing friend and leader of this whole event, planned all the catering. And, but at this moment, we have we're going to be moving into just a couple other recognitions of, we're shifting in age, shifting in sectors, but I also, you're kind. You guys are kind to say my name. It's not about the work I've done. This is so much about the work we have done. And I'm just trying to hold this container for all of us, right? That we're all doing great work, but it's all about the coordinating committee. And so if all the coordinating members could stand up and just be recognized, we have a whole table of folks over here, all the 2 tables worth. All of, okay. For a year and a half now, just connecting and creating space and serving all of you as stakeholders, identifying what are the needs in our community, how can we address them, how do we move forward, and Nancy has just been there from the beginning, and I am just adore her, and she's going to be introducing a few folks now who have also just been stars in our community. I'm really, really proud of them.
I am so excited to be here. Those of you who've been watching this journey know that this is really a great time for us. And I am utterly proud to have the opportunity to introduce a couple of rock stars. The reason that I got involved in this journey is the opportunity to transform the lives of our youth and help them understand really locally and globally what's happening. I work at Portland Public Schools. I'm all about K-12 education. Okay, so there are 2 shining examples here tonight of how the RCE leverages the educational process. Outside, you saw some models of some schools that were part of a design competition of middle schools through the CEFPI, the Center for Education Facilities Planners International. Sorry, Katrina, it was close. So they offer a competition for students to think about green building aspects and to design the schools of the future that they want to inhabit. And we have a local team who won the 2014 chapter competition, and they are our regional winners. And this is really exciting. We've never competed in this before, and these guys won. So they're rock stars. And is their model out here? Their model is the one that you see with the with the turrets and such. So just thinking about what the building is, because most kids don't think about the building, right? They're there for the educational purpose, but this is life skills. Okay, rock stars. Rock stars. Oh, clap. The other thing that's been super exciting to me, don't close your eyes, was we were invited to participate in an international virtual youth conference. And we had students from the PLACE program at Catlin Gable and Rex Putnam High School participate in this opportunity. So we were invited to be one of, are you guys going to talk about the other participants? Who was there? Okay, so they'll tell you who was there. I'll tell you who was in the audience. This was a virtual conference. We had folks from, of course, Portland and Grand Rapids and Madagascar and, oh yeah, Bangladesh and Montreal and Japan and Germany and Brazil. So this is about food security, which they'll tell you about, and thinking about a local issue and then scaling up to an international level. So I would like to introduce to you two of the participants in that, Sophie and Jubilee. Yes.
Hello. First of all, we'd like to thank Kim Smith and Nancy Bond so much for letting us speak here. We weren't initially allowed to, but now they let us have this opportunity, and so we're really, really grateful. We'd also like to thank George Zaninovich, the director of the PLACE project, and Jocelyn McIntyre, for a science teacher at Rex Putnam, for kind of organizing this whole event for us and allowing us to participate in it.
So the reason that we're up here today is that in the past year, we were part of 2 youth-led programs that pushed Portland to be a more sustainable and more equitable place. And the first was PLACE, which stands for Planning and Leadership Across City Environments. And in PLACE, we worked to design a greenway over the summer, and it was a 4-week youth leadership and civic engagement program. And it was its 5th year, with 17 teenagers from 5 different schools.
So the first 2 weeks were kind of learning about Portland. We talked about gentrification and the urban growth boundary, and got to know some people in the community who participated in the community and were active in pushing for sustainability. So we learned about Portland in the first 2 weeks, and then the second 2 weeks, we worked more with our client, Mark Raggett of the Bureau of Planning and Sustainability, to create a greenway that would connect the Portland park blocks to from Johnson, which are bookended at the post office, which will eventually be leaving, and that whole space is going to open up for a store or a school, something that will gain community interest into that area. And so our project was to create a greenway that would connect those 2 sections of our city, ultimately going into Northwest. So Mark gave us our task, and so the second 2 weeks we worked with the knowledge we had gained from the first 2 weeks to plan and design this greenway for him. And so we came up with 2 different designs. And so that process that we did in PLACE helped us when looking at the task we had been given for the International Youth Conference. And so in that conference, we were given the question, does Portland have a sustainable food system, and who has access to it? And so we had 3 students from Rex Putnam partner with us to answer this question that we would eventually share with the different groups via Skype. I keep hitting it. And so each group was given a similar question that they decided themselves, and so we created a short presentation that we shared with them.
Yeah, and then we got to hear from around the world the different students talk about sustainability in the context of their city. And it was really great to work on this project because it was similar yet a smaller scale project than PLACE. And PLACE was just so great that I was so happy to come back to do something else related to sustainability in Portland.
From working with the different school as well as interviewing people from around the city, we gained a lot of new perspectives that we wouldn't have gained just from our own information. And so this was something that was a common theme in PLACE as well. We surveyed a lot of people who our plans would ultimately be affecting to get feedback and new ideas. And so we have been looking at sustainability from kind of 3 different perspectives: economic, social, and equity. And so in place, and the International Youth Conference, we really looked at kind of equity more under the microscope. And so we think that this is really important because in our findings, we found that Portland is sustainable, but it's kind of sustainable to a point. For people who don't have access or the resources to buy organic foods and go to the local farmers market, it becomes much more difficult to be sustainable and live a sustainable lifestyle. And so we need to push to have more farmers markets that will take food stamps and things like that to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to be sustainable, because the people who have been given the opportunity have really taken that chance, but the people who don't have the chance to be sustainable are really what's kind of bringing our city down.
And I think it's really excellent that Portland has been acknowledged as a regional center of expertise. I'm proud to live in a city that really values sustainability, and we really look forward to what Portland will do in the future.
Thank you.
It sounded so harsh that we wouldn't allow them to join us. That was only because of time. So if anybody in here actually does event planning and is paying attention to the program, just throw it out the window because we're so off time. We really tried, Nancy, we really did. Anyway, they didn't show a couple of their slides, so we'll just show a few more. So that's really great, you guys, congratulations. So those are juniors and seniors in high school from Rex Putnam and Catlin Gable. And then, of course, all of our different middle school folks. So just so you can see the work they did, right? Nice job, looks really good. So again, the designs out here were for middle school students, correct, Katrina? Yep, middle school students. So all different ages, very, very proud of them. Now, so if you are still competing, or you won actually, you're going to the national level now, right? International level. Isn't that cool? Visionaries. This is what it's all about, being innovative and seeing a vision for the future. All right, we are going to do a little shift in energy now, so that's what was next up on our agenda. We're going to do some music. So there's going to be a little bit of shift. If you all want to do a little seventh inning stretch, don't run to the restroom necessarily because there's not time for that. But Amanda is a Grammy-nominated singer, one of the coolest people I know in town, and has a big heart for the environment. And if any of you by chance, do you remember seeing Washed Ashore? Do you guys remember seeing the big, it's all about the plastics on the ocean and on the Oregon coast? Amanda was really involved in that, and she and I helped coordinate those events and bringing it to Portland, and her music just, it touches my heart, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So anyway, take a moment, they're gonna set up.
All right, well, I want to thank you, Kim, for inviting us out tonight. Really an honor to be here. My husband and I had the privilege of walking 75 miles through the jungles of Guatemala last December to participate in a Mayan ceremony for the end of the Mayan calendar. And they did a ceremony for sustainability and peace throughout the world. And this was a song that I have known since childhood and felt appropriate for that event as well as this one. So I'm going to share that with you. In this world there's a whole lot of trouble, baby. In this world there's a whole lot of pain. In this world there's a whole lot of trouble and a whole lot of ground to gain. When you spend your whole life wishing, wanting and wondering why it's a hard enough life to be living, why walk when you can fly? And in this world there's a whole lot of sorrow. In this world there's a whole lot of shame. In this world there's a whole lot of sorrow and a whole lot of ground to gain. Why take when you could be given? Or why watch as the world goes by? It's a hard enough life to be living. Why walk when you can fly? fight. And in this world there's a whole lot of gold, and in this world there's a whole lot of plain. In this world you've a soul for a compass and a heart for a pair of wings. There's a star on a far horizon, rising bright in an azure sky. For the rest of the time that you're given, why walk when you can fly?
Should.
It should be number 3.
It's 2. It's number 2.
Oh wait,
I got
turn it down for 1 second. That's right.
Is that number 3?
Is it working? Okay, hanging on.
Yeah.
Ends don't meet, but I'm holding it all together. Out in the weather, facing the storm. These family ties, purse strings I forget. Am I a puppeteer? Or a marionette? The ends don't meet, but I'm holding it all together. Out in the weather, facing the storm. And I really don't know what'll happen if I let go. Might be too far over my head, so I keep hanging on by a ends don't meet, but I'm holding it all together. Out in the weather, facing the storm. And I really don't know what'll happen if I let go. Might be too far over my head, so I keep hanging on
And Amanda now lives back in Portland, and Joe is here. They're so great. So you can see them around town. Thank you. That was beautiful. All righty. And now, if you kind of glance around the room, do you see a little color guard? Which direction? Oh my, something's going on over there, right? And Amy Livingstone. So blessings for everybody who had a chance to do the mandala. Amy's going to share a couple words about the story, and then share a poem, and then the One World Chorus is going to sing for you as our grand finale. Amy? And Erin, are you going to be able to share that microphone with her? Or do you want to? Okay, thank you.
I want to thank everyone who contributed to our beautiful nature mandala. It's a really gorgeous offering to give expression to not only our gratitude for all the abundance we receive from the earth, but as an offering back to the healing of the earth. So I wanted to share a poem, an excerpt actually from the late Irish poet John O'Donoghue. And in general, I would like to offer up this offering from all of us to the children, our grandchildren, and future generations, as so many have already expressed. It's why we're here. It's why we do the work that we're doing. So it's with that spirit that I want to share this poem and then do a dismantling of our mandala that we will then offer to the Willamette River to send out healing in all directions. Let us bless the imagination of the earth. Let us thank the earth that offers ground for home and holds our feet firm, to walk in space open to infinite galaxies. Let us salute the silence and certainty of mountains, their sublime stillness, their dream-filled hearts, the wonder of a garden, trusting the first warmth of spring. Let us ask forgiveness of the earth for all our sins against her, for our violence and poisonings of her beauty. Let us remember within us the ancient clay, holding the memory of seasons, the passion of the wind, the fluency of water, the warmth of fire, the quiver touch of the sun and shadowed sureness of the moon, that we may awaken to live to the full the dream of the earth, who chose us to emerge and incarnate its hidden night in mind, spirit, and light. Thank you. Blessings.
Sorry, it wasn't put down.
melody. Now let's create some harmony.
That's why we do it, right? It's for the children, it's for the future. And thank you, Aaron and the One World Chorus. It's beautiful. That was our little sing-along part. Did you sing? Yes. Yes? Good, Nancy, good. Okay, so we are actually going to finish on time, which is pretty amazing. But we have, of course, some final words and some thank yous. And I want to invite Steve Combs up from University of Portland to share a few insights. And he also has been a founding member of GPSEN from the very beginning. And I'm really grateful for all of his support and for the good work that University of Portland does.
So I asked him if I could speak at this point, because I like saying thank you, and also because I had a really keen idea of what your blood sugar levels would be like, and that really takes the pressure off a lot. But I was thinking about what the thank you should really be, and I was looking at the list of the different sponsors here, and I thought Portland Public Schools, well, yeah, some of our students are your students, right? Portland Community College, some of our students are your students. PSU, some of our students go on to grad work and become your students. Metro, the zoo, the NGOs, the businesses, that's where our students go for their service learning opportunities, their internships, their jobs. And really, GPSEN is a network that makes visible the many moving parts that make up sustainability here. And I think that's the wonderful thing about it, because when you go someplace and you say you're from Portland, people take you really seriously, right? But it's not because of what I'm doing, because we couldn't do at University of Portland what we do if it wasn't for all these other parts that were making up what is sustainability in Portland. And I think that GPSEN has the potential to help these more visible connections become richer and work even better. And that, I think, is a wonderful thing about it. I was also looking at that map of all the little RCEs. I thought, we look like a bubble, we're sitting out there, there's a little bubble. I looked at the whole map. You hear about the Portland bubble, right? I look at the whole map, and I thought, if you look at the whole thing, it doesn't look like a bubble. It looks like carbonation, because there's lots of them, and maybe that's not a bad mission, right? For all the RCEs, being some serious carbonation as a group. So thanks for coming tonight. Thanks, of course, to all the people that put this wonderful event on. And I wanted to invite Nancy Bond from Portland Public Schools up now to make an acknowledgement on behalf of all of us.
We are all in this together. And we really are so grateful for your support. And I'm so grateful for the whole team that worked so hard on tonight's event, but also is working so hard on all of the efforts of the RCE. You?
So we wanted to give a special thanks to Kim Smith for leading this crazy, awesome effort to get RCE recognition and to put on this beautiful event to celebrate the start of what we see as a beautiful partnership across the globe and within Portland. So we have a sage plant for you, so your wisdom may ever grow as you meet more and more people, hopefully on your Europe trip to meet more RCEs this summer, and also some chocolate, because who doesn't love chocolate? So thank you, Kim, and you can come up and
thank you, Kim. Oh, I can't even do that. So easy. I want a picture of all of us up here.
Right. Who's got the camera? Who's the camera? Here's Naida. You can't really see us. We're all behind the podium.
It's true. I have to be taller.
Is that working?
You could stand in front of the logo too. And
Okay,
there
that's
will be
good.
time for pictures later too, if anybody wants to come up and take pictures with, of course, the gorgeous logo.
Okay, that's
so
it.
this also is Angela Olivario, and I want to recognize Angela as an AmeriCorps student with Portland Public Schools, and also the incredible organizer of all the tickets through Brown Paper Tickets. And I want to so thank you for all of your the tickets that you purchased, as well as the sponsors, and Angela helped run that. She also, we've just submitted a letter to UNESCO to have her hopefully serve as our youth delegate to the UNESCO World Summit on ESD in November in Japan. Absolutely. And this definitely is the point in the evening where it really is a yay team, right? Everybody want to say yay team?
Yay team.
Yay team! Right? And we also really wanted to not only honor all the different ages across our community and the different sectors, but to recognize the importance of beauty, the importance of design and science, the good work that we all do across industries and schools, and in nonprofits and in government. And we really we don't have to be experts, right? So these regional centers of expertise, no pressure. Let's all be experts on everything, right? No, we're not. But we're experts in what we specifically do. And Brigitte Reisling, the current president of PCC Sylvania, was talking about what it means to have strength-based leadership and to focus on what we do really well, right? To find what that is. Let's dig into that a little deeper, and then find the people, the gorgeous, amazing people that we've had a chance to work with who have their own strengths, right? And there was a process, I was in this space, I'm like, I don't know how to run it. We're not even a nonprofit yet. Anybody want to help us with that? Let's get that going.
Let's go. Wrap it up.
I just got kicked. Did you see that? I'm like totally getting pulled off the stage to like wrap it up. I am wrapping it up, but I want to say something beautiful. No, that's just the point being that what does it mean for each of us to know that we all can be teachers? If you didn't see the 9-year-old in the children's room teaching about bees, boy, you missed out. She's incredible, all of us. So I just want us to each find whatever our strengths are. It's like, and I was feeling like, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that, and this is really hard. But boy, it's really fun to do the networking, or it's really fun to do the outreach piece, or the curriculum piece, or the research piece, right? Whatever that piece is for you, that's where you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's hard. This is a lot. We're being asked to save the world. Right? Hey, Portland, what are you going to do? Every time I go anywhere, I'm like, hey, Australia, Germany, Japan, Madagascar, Malaysia. What are you going to do to save the world? They're like, I don't know, United States. What are you going to do? And it has been tense and beautiful, but also like, all right, let's rise to the challenge. And here we are, and we've been invited to this. We've been honored and recognized for who we have been and who we are. But certainly it's not time to sit on our laurels. The Sustainable Development Goals are being written right now. They're being launched and being presented in November in Japan. UNESCO is looking to the RCEs to be the leaders in the implementation of that. And next year we will have a new global action program. And we're going to focus on the good work we're doing here in Portland, but we are also being invited to be leaders in that broader effort. And if that's something that intrigues you, sign up, get involved. We've got our website with the engagement pledge, and all of us, of course, on the coordinating committee are happy to, give you some insights on opportunities and ways to get engaged, or simply just keep doing the good work you're doing. I'm so proud of all of you. I'm so grateful to get to be with you tonight, and I hope this is the start of a very beautiful friendship. Thank you.